Yes, I'm going to take your silence as a yes. Well, to lift your spirits up, we have a dose of caffeine coming right up for you. Next, to deliver the principal address on ValidAIte, ship AI with proof, not promises, which is a powerful call to action for trustworthy, verifiable AI. I am absolutely delighted to invite the maverick behind the bold vision at the QE Conclave. Well, he brings over 40 years of experience in software testing, quality engineering, and digital transformation. At QualiZeal, he has been absolutely instrumental in guiding enterprises and startups to leverage AI-powered, trustworthy quality engineering practices. A recognized thought leader, speaker, and prolific writer, he has held senior leadership roles at BAN, now Infor, Virtusa App Labs, now DXC, Accenture, Talent Sprint, 10X Labs, now Planet, testing experts, and cloud scale QA. Well, he has a proven track record of driving innovation, scaling operations, and helping organizations achieve agile, quality-driven growth across industries. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a thunderous round of applause once again for Mr. Madhu Murty, co-founder and head of India operations, QualiZeal. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Milan. The topic for today, then we'll show a quick video about a platform that we are launching today, and the name of the platform is ValidAIte. And then, immediately after the video, we will give you a live demo of the platform. The first time we are doing the live demo of that. So hopefully everything goes well. My team is working there. So we'll get going now. So let me introduce the topic. So over the last 2 years, even inside our QE Conclave, AI has moved from experiment to expectation now. Every organization that is represented here, AI is already touching the real customers of ours, real lives, and real money. So AI is everywhere. But one thing that has not kept with this explosion of AI is trust. That's what we are talking today, again and again, trust. So also, the research is extremely clear now. AI adoption is high. Every organization is already using AI, but very few organizations, a minority of them, are able to derive real value, measurable value. And that's what all the analysts, all the research is indicating. And there is a lot of discussion that's happening around this problem, that adoption is high, but value is low. Also, for value being low, what's happening is that a lot of us, a lot of our businesses, a lot of our enterprises, we are shipping AI with crossed fingers. Some of them, very few of them, test every output that's produced by AI, but majority of us, we are testing a little, maybe we'll put a red team a little, and maybe review a few samples and ship it with our fingers crossed. So we think that nothing goes wrong after we test it and ship it. But this hope is not a very good thing. Hope is not a good test strategy, and definitely hope is not a trust strategy. I think, let's go to the old world from where we grew up as QE engineers. The old world, we always asked one question about the software. Does it work? Does it work as per its requirements? But the new world, in the AI world, that question gets more profound now. The new question that everyone must ask is, can I trust this system? These systems are agentic, the systems are RAG-enabled LLMs. So these systems will decide. So are they fair in the way they are deciding? Are they able to explain why they are making such decisions, those systems? And are they not hallucinating? These more different kind of questions we must address and get answers from before we say okay to ship a system, AI system. So the new world has changed and the QE community will have to get ready for it. So again, one community, or let me ask this question, who do you think should take responsibility for this discipline, AI trust, kind of trust engineering discipline? Who should take responsibility? What do you think? Who are the people who have to take responsibility? Quality engineers. So we are the people who have to really take care of that. So like in the previous conversations also, we talked about this jobs and all that. But I think there is a big future for the community sitting here because AI trust engineering is going to be responsibility of all of us. So today, we'll change that. How we can build trust in a systematic way. How do we engineer trust using a process way, applying again generative AI technology and build the trust engineering capability that we can give to our AI systems. That's what we'll do now. So let us, to do that, we have made a platform, ValidAIte. So that is what we are going to launch. So with ValidAIte, you can ship AI with proof, not promises. So let's move on. Again, how we do that using a structured approach, risk management, risk metrics, test, evidence and trust. We'll show you that live. So anyway, let me stop talking now and let's get to the demo, please.
Generative AI is reshaping enterprise operations, but one inaccurate answer can trigger compliance breaches, financial exposure, and reputational damage. CIOs know the truth. AI initiatives are accelerating, but governance, validation, and accountability are lagging behind. Executives are asking, how do we deploy AI at scale without losing control? Introducing ValidAIte, the world's trust-first AI validation platform, aligned with the NISTAIRMF risk management framework. Built for enterprises to ensure safety, compliance, and reliability at scale. ValidAIte gives you a structure and a robust method to systematically assess enterprise AI risks during development, pre-production, and in production. It validates every answer, verifies every citation, exposes every risk. For RAG systems, Agentic AI systems, LLM copilots, and mission-critical enterprise AI. This is how CIOs will take AI to production. Not by hoping it works, but by proving it does. ValidAIte. Ship AI with proof, not promises.
Okay. So let's do a live demo now. Again, this is the first time we are doing this demo. Even if something goes wrong, what is your responsibility? You will continue clapping. Okay? So let's get going. So this is the platform. This platform is built for the AI teams inside an enterprise, the AI risk officers, AI developers, AI architects, and the new word that NISTAIRMF is talking about is a TEV team. I don't know how many of you know what is TEV, test, evaluation, verification, validation. So TEV leads and TEV engineers will use this system in a collaborative manner to build an AI system. So today what we will do is that we'll use ValidAIte and test an application under test, that is an LLM chatbot, RAG-enabled chatbot. We built it to showcase this demo. So this is a lifeguard health insurance assistant. So some health insurance plans for the customers based on your policy numbers, you will be able to ask a set of questions and the chatbot will assist you. That is a AUT. So this AUT we will try to test using, validate using a very structured approach, and that is what we call RMTE approach, risk, metric, test, evidence. Through that we will measure trust and showcase those evidences to the decision makers. So let us get going with the demo. So what we are doing as a first step here is that we are letting ValidAIte know about the application under test. So we have to provide 3 informations about our application under test to the ValidAIte, about its, how this chatbot has been built, what is the functionality, what is the business use of that. If you look at it, we are telling it's a insurance agent. It is PII and PHI is important for this, and also some amount of decisioning it is doing, and it will be used by an enterprise, so enterprise grade trust has to be built into that, and it is a RAG system. So after that, we will give a little bit of technical information about this AUT to ValidAIte. So let us give it. So here we are talking about the AUT, what type of RAG technical things we are using it. Then anyway, it's not an agentic system, so we are not giving, but we will be building some tests and running those tests on the AUT using API. We can do manually, humans can do. Also using UI, a playwright type of tool can be used, but right now in this demo, we will use an API basis testing. So also, we are giving a little bit of information about the user stories of the application under test. So that information is, once you give, what we will do using the tool is that, okay, now determine the AUT's archetype, AI archetype, because that information is critical in the way we set up RMTE loop, RMTE, risk, metric, test, evidence loop. So once we do that, we ask or we take some help from generative AI to determine what is this system all about. And so the system has, the ValidAIte has told about this AUT, and it gave a little bit of recommendations. What is the risk level of this system? It has determined it as critical. Then TEV recommendations, because PHI, PII, it's an insurance thing. The privacy, security is important. So it gave us a set of recommendations which a risk and compliance officer along with the TEV managers can read it. If it is need to be strengthened, you can strengthen it. But this is the basis from where we will start our validation process. So once we have, what we have to do is that from, as a risk and compliance officer, I have to, for this system archetype, I have to set up some trust attributes. So because we are talking so much about trust, I think there is a need for us to understand trust in a much more clearer terms. So when we are talking about AI trust, we are talking about a set of AI trust attributes. The trust attributes are accuracy, reliability, fairness, explainability, security, privacy, safety, and ethics of, again, luckily in the last few years, NISTAIRMF has given a great guidance for the validation teams to systematically build the trust engineering capability. So what we are doing here is that we are, as a risk and compliance officer, I am setting the risk trust attributes. So we are letting the ValidAIte to decide based on the AUT's archetype, but you can, as a human in the loop, you can actually intervene, change it. So right now, the system has decided that all these 7 trust attributes, a relative weight, because it is an enterprise bot, and So accuracy, fairness, security, privacy, it gave more weightage than explainability. So, but again, you can go and make modifications. So once you have done that, so you have relative weights for the trust attributes are clear. So what we will do next step is that we'll start our RMTE loop. So first we will determine risks in a very structured, careful manner for each of these AI trust attributes. So again, while we are generating these risks, what we are trying to do is that we are looking at fundamentally technology artifact wise, it is an LLM bot and RAG enabled. So that technology aspect is important to identify risk. And also it is a functional angle. It is a health insurance bot. So both informations have to be merged as we identify a good set of risks that I need to mitigate in my validation process. That is an extremely important step. The quality with which you do risk identification will determine the quality of your validation process. So now what the system has done is that it has identified across all the 7 attributes, taking the application under test technical as well as functional angle and given you risks. If you look at hover around any risk like opaque decision making, so users may not understand how premium calculations are made, leading to distrust in the system. So ValidAIte is actually simplifying your work. However, you should not depend on the outputs produced by it. You have to apply your own mind as a validation team and improve those risks. Now, after having done risks, the important step in AI validation is that don't jump to testing. You must understand this risk and mitigating this risk using a set of metrics, qualitative or quantitative metrics. So let us do that step. We go and ask the system for every risk you identified, for each of these trust attributes, please suggest me a set of metrics that I should really test for and achieve, whether they are within the threshold or not. If it is within the threshold, the test has passed, AUT is working well. If it doesn't meet the threshold, the AUT is not working. We have to still work and make it better. So right now, what's happening is that for each of those risks have been identified. Now, metrics have been determined by the system. Again, you can go and, so for example, accuracy as an attribute, if you go there, premium calculation error is the risk. So faithfulness score is a very important metric for it. Again, as I said, ValidAIte is helping you to think better and simplifying your burden. But as everyone says, don't believe in AI. You stick to your intelligence as well. Human in the loop is extremely important. So once you have done that, now I have, for accuracy, trust attribute, I have all the metrics to attack those risks. Now, the next step in the validation process is, so come on, let us build a test. So that is what we are doing now. We are building a test suite again. In an AI kind of environment, what is really a test? Test is a collection of well thought out prompts and some golden truths from your human judgment. You have to bring that and then run a 30 to 100 queries covering the whole functional part of the application and measure that particular number. So now, what we will be doing is that we created the test suite. So we now, because it's a RAG system and this test suite has to be created, so we have to really give what information the chatbot is using. Either from RAG you can pull it of the application under test, or you can, if you have in your memory, you can do that. So because we don't have connection to the AUT's RAG system, let us take it and please move forward. Nag.
Yeah. Generate.
Yeah, generate test suite. I know I'm doing pretty fast all this. For some of the new people, the process may not be that clear. But again, there is a stall there. Please ask questions. The goal really is that we will listen to you. Please criticize give feedback, partner with us if you have serious pain points in AI testing. We'll together solve these things. So now what happened is that a test suite has been created for the trust attribute accuracy and that score which we are doing. So he's now right now selecting some of the tests. These are the actually prompts and the ground truths. System helped you, but you can check it, improve it. But then the next step in the validation process is to be able to execute. So as I said, execution can be done by humans and apply human judgment and figure out the scores, or use UI of the AUT and do any test automation in the regular way we know. But here we have API connection to the AUT. So we are building those tests and executing those test scripts now. So to do that, we are doing automatically. How it happens? There are a lot of frameworks. Because it's a RAG-enabled LLM chatbot, we have a framework called RAG Assessment Suite. It has a group of Python libraries to be able to automatically calculate some of these metrics. So right now, we have created all those Python scripts and running the tests. So this is what is happening now. We are through API sending the queries, responses we are taking it back, and the Python program is actually calculating that metric. If that is within the threshold that we have set during trust determination, attribute determination, it will do this. Right now, for that accuracy and metric, whatever tests we have done, actually how many have passed and how many failed? Almost 2 tests have passed, 3 failed. Okay, and again we can have a clear transparency which aspect, which prompt did not actually meet the threshold criteria, which group of prompts did not meet. So now let us move on, and we can measure as we are progressing through testing, because when we look at this testing, this is far more complex testing than testing the systems that we have been testing, rule-based systems. It is an extremely complex thing because we are doing it now. The teams are not knowledgeable, the customers are not knowledgeable, and the amount of work to be done to really build the trust or the trust engineering aspect has to be made more methodical, practical. Otherwise, most of us, for most of the times, we are talking in the air. So we thought, let us not talk through the air. Let us make a little bit of practical advancements in that. So right now, after this round of execution, for whatever small testing portion, show the trust dashboard, please. Can you show the trust dashboard? Yeah. So at the time of setting up, for this chatbot to get into production, 89% composite trust score, if we achieve, we can go ahead. Okay, till that time, we cannot go ahead. At least that is what ValidAIte has told, but you can change it. But right now, where do we stand? 9%. So again, it's a continuous testing process. It is not that you test, deploy, forget. AI systems are far more different. AI systems are tested, met this criteria, put into production, then people start using, then people use on all ways, wrong, right ways, data changes. So drift happens. So we have to continuously monitor, observe these platforms when they're in production, and then if they're not meeting the thresholds during production, alert them, and then continuous testing. So it's why I'm telling all this is that the people in this room, our jobs are there. We are going to be the heroes of the future, or heroines of the future. Our jobs are not going anywhere, because trust and building a trust engineering framework is not at all an easy task. And we will solve this problem, and we will ensure that all AI investments are really giving value to our enterprises. So I think we have concluded the demo, and on time, or a little bit over time, but thank you very much.